What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Volumen. Welcome back to Volume. Today, we have a very, very special guest. I know I say that about everybody, but honestly, everybody that comes on the show is special. Today, though, he is a good friend of mine. Honestly, he's like the best wedding photographer, best portrait, best editorial photographer that I know, and I'm not just saying that, but his name is Aytek Demir. Welcome to the show, bro.
Welcome.
What's up, man?
How are you?
To be here. I'm excited. First podcast.
Yeah? First one that you're on?
Yeah. First one that I'm on.
Dope, dude.
Nice.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I'm not friends with podcasters.
Yeah. I don't know if I consider myself I mean, I guess I'm a podcaster now, right? That's how that works.
You have
It's
the
another.
look.
It's another title.
You have the look.
The look?
Yeah. Well, you have a microphone, headphones,
Yeah.
nice chair. You
Yeah.
can do it.
Couple
Okay.
cameras.
You believe in me.
Helen, I've always believed in you.
That means a lot, honestly.
Nice. How are you doing?
So yeah, I'm doing good. This one's an early one too. We usually do them a little bit later in the day.
Like what time?
I like to do it like maybe like 7ish once like all traffic is done. We're not gonna pick up any audio.
No
Morning
honking.
this isn't even early either, but it's
Well, we were going to start
yeah
a bit earlier, but then we had
some
technical issues.
yeah. There's always
Usual.
there's always
You
something.
know how it is.
We have HDMI cables go bad, XLR cables go bad. It's a nightmare. Let's just dive right into it though. Why are you the best wedding photographer and how does that feel?
Well, I'm the best wedding photographer, maybe.
You should be well, yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah. I don't think I'm the best. I enjoy doing it, so
Yeah.
I'm not miserable.
Right.
That's one thing. It's definitely fun. Nice to have like a creative output as part of your career.
Yep.
You know, but I don't know. I enjoy doing it. I can't really. I know we talked about it before. I can't really see myself doing it forever.
Yeah.
But that's not because I don't enjoy it. It's just because I feel like after like there's clearly like a time of year that's like the season for it, you know? And usually like when you're like 3/4 the way through that season, you just feel so burnt out because it's 24/7 either shooting or editing. Because if you shoot a wedding for like 10-12 hours, it's going to take a lot more than 10-12 hours to edit it.
Right.
And then when you have a bunch of weeks that are like 3 weddings a week, you have to do like all that editing, catch up on. You kind of like, it's like right now it's like the end of like the off season because winter's going to be ending soon.
Yeah.
So right now I have like more free time and stuff like that. That's kind of like the self-employed dream. Like
Right.
I have like my own schedule. I could do whatever
Yeah.
I want. But then when it's like busy season, like no friends, no family,
life.
it's like you remember that video of Deontay Wilder into the camera. He's like, what was it? Till this day.
Oh yeah.
I feel like after I have like a bunch of weddings and then someone's like, oh dude, like how's it going? Like you almost done with your editing, and someone who knows I have like all the editing and stuff to do. They're like, oh dude, like you still editing? I'm like, to this day. You gotta do a slow punch in. To this day. To this day.
He's doing last year's edit still.
Dude, it's not,
How many weddings you got till this day?
Yeah, that's the answer. Yeah, it's just like, so when it's like really, really busy, dude, it's nonstop. But so I feel like after a while, I would definitely get burnt out. So I can't see myself doing weddings specifically, like full time for, I don't want to say forever. Obviously, I'm not gonna do any job forever, but
Yeah.
I definitely enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
No matter what I continue to do, I'm still gonna probably want to do this like on the weekends.
Yeah.
That's like the main part of it is on the weekends.
Right.
But it's fun. You just like, I mean, if someone asked me to describe my job, I would just say like, I hang out with a group of people who their intention that day is just to have fun and
Right.
be with their friends and family and party, hang out. And it's just my job to hang out with them and take photos of it.
Make sure you get good quality photos. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, like you even, you don't have to even, I don't have to even say like, oh, I do weddings. Like, oh, I just like hang out with people while they're having fun. Sometimes they get hammered, but usually it's a good time. So
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I've had like some bridezilla experiences, but never anything like super, super wild.
Yeah.
That would like, be like a news
What's
story or something.
what's the worst, or maybe not the worst, but what's a memorable one, like one that really stood out, like out of a wedding that you did, and you don't have to name drop it, just like
most like memorable moment or Bridezilla
I guess
specific.
Yeah, Bridezilla, like just like we're just things went to shit, like a bad one, and it doesn't necessarily kind of have to come down on the bride, just like
Yeah.
unfortunately things happened that day, and
Yeah, there's like so many moving pieces that are out of your, even if you're planning the event, you're like the wedding planner or the bridegroom, whatever. There's so many pieces that like once they're put into motion, it's kind of out of your control.
Yep.
Like you might think like, oh, like, if you're the bride, for example, once you book your hair and makeup for the day, you're like, all right, like that's done. I'm good to go. But then, the hair and makeup usually starts first because like if there's like 8-9 girls, they gotta start early in the morning.
Right.
So say, it could happen to anybody. Say one makeup artist's like alarm doesn't work.
Jeez.
She's supposed to be at a hotel an hour away at like 6 a.m. She wakes up at like 7. So, she's going to be there at 2, yeah.
Pushes the whole day back for the rest.
Yeah, like, sucks. It could happen. It could happen to like me as a photographer too. But, there's been things like that where like, no matter how well you plan, like your whole schedule just is out the window.
Mm-hmm.
So things get messed up, and obviously bride's stressed. She's not going to normally be a bridezilla, but this situation's putting her over the edge. Things like that happen all the time. There's always just some people when you deal with them, and they're just, you've talked to people on the phone where
they're a little much.
Yeah, you're like, I kind of want you to just say that you don't need my services anymore. Like there's things like that, but never anything like where I'm like,
right.
Getting
and you
crazy.
seem to have a lot of patience too. So it's like,
Yeah,
I can imagine it's just like you accommodate. You accommodate.
Another thing is this, even though I've been to so many weddings, I'm like, I guess a wedding professional. Just like I know, like even not photos, like you could tell me like any wedding, give me like the ethnicities and stuff usually, and I could kind of give you a full breakdown of how that day is usually gonna go.
Right.
Like what kind of like dancing they might do, formalities, all that stuff at the reception. But when I'm dealing with the bride and groom, it's usually their first time doing it.
Yeah.
That's usually the idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're not like seasoned vets. I don't expect them to know what to really do.
Right.
Like, yeah, you can't really go in with a lot of expectations of the day running super smooth. I expect everything to run super smooth on my end. Like I'm expecting not to have any major like fuck ups really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't expect that from everything.
Right.
So I mean, sometimes even the whole day is going smooth, and then say, your ceremony location, and then where the couple wants to go take photos, the reception hall are like a 40-minute drive from each other. Happens, like you might get stuck in traffic, and then there goes the rest of your day.
Yeah,
it happens.
You can't even control that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's external factors.
Yeah, but overall, like I definitely enjoy it. I haven't had, like I said, any crazy experiences. Definitely, like I've seen drama unfold, but never like anything wild.
Nobody's like died, or like nobody's like not showed up to the wedding.
The one time I've been at a wedding and like, there's been issues where like day of a bridal party member will just be like, oh, I can't make it. So then like there'll be some issues for the bride and groom, and well for me too, because sometimes it's weird. Like sometimes people will have, I guess, one or the other, like between the bride and groom has a lot more friends or people they're close with. So sometimes it'll be like 3 bridesmaids, 12 groomsmen.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know how to set that up. Yeah. But then like, it's like sometimes a bride or groom's like bridal party member will drop out like the day of, and then like my group photos would be like uneven and stuff like that, which is annoying. But so from people dropping out day of, there's that. But yeah, the only time I've ever been at a wedding where like emergency services came is actually not that long, maybe like October last year.
Oh, that's kind of recent.
Yeah, say maid of honor, just like I don't want to be mean, but just from like the vibe I was getting from her before like the reception stuff started, she was a very, very like shy, like just she was
introverted person.
Yeah, super introverted. Like nothing against that, but she's definitely more of the stay home, maybe hang out with a couple close friends. Like she's not going out like to party. You can tell from her vibe.
Got it.
And then during the reception, it was probably her first time ever being near an open bar. So she just went super hard,
Boy.
Yeah, because it was her sister's wedding.
First time probably drinking or like to that caliber.
To that caliber, for sure.
Oh, my goodness.
Like I said, she was super, super introverted. She was up at the altar for the ceremony. Like there was like, 3, 4 it was a lesbian wedding.
Okay.
So there was like 3, 4 people on each side for the 2 brides.
And it was a she.
Yeah, and the whole time she was up there, she was holding her bouquet, and she was like super, super introverted. And then maybe like a little bit into the reception, after she had like been taking them down, she like walked by me as we were going to opposite sides of the reception room, and this girl, she looked at the camera and she was doing like finger guns, and I was like, damn, is that the same person? Like
that is not you.
Yeah, because she wasn't even like during the whole reception. I mean, during the whole ceremony, she was like looking at the ground.
Yeah.
Like, she wasn't like even making eye contact with family in the like seated family, because she didn't. Yeah, she just like, felt
I love. I think I do that.
That's that liquid confidence.
Yeah,
right there.
for sure.
Honestly.
But then like 15 minutes after that, she was like throwing up on the patio.
Oh man.
And then the bride and the bride were gone for like an hour, like taking care of her.
That's rough.
And then they came back and like danced a little bit, very visibly unhappy. And then they disappeared again. And me and the videographer were like, because we were missing a bunch of stuff that they wanted. Because there was a bunch of stuff they wanted during the reception.
Yeah.
But like 30 minutes into the reception, obviously they had to stop
take care of
her
that.
sister from dying.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's tough.
So like we missed like some stuff, but like.
And it sucks as like kind of the creator there, like the photographer, videographer, because you like, if you miss, I don't know, like the dances or the speeches or the toasts, now you don't have that to put into the film, to put that into the like the photo album. Like
The problem was that we were there, like they.
Do you?
Missed it, yeah.
This is kind of funny. I don't know how I would have responded. I guess it depends on the situation and reading the room. But it would be kind of interesting to like, okay, like she's gonna go puke in the balcony. It's like, we're gonna go snap those pictures. Like, let's go over there and just puke projectile and just.
I've gotten a lot of good photos of like bridal party members, like stupid drunken shenanigans, like stuff that normal. Like if they were sober, they would probably be like, "Oh, don't take that picture." But I've gotten a lot of that. But that she was like,
I'm big on like just taking it and then like just being like, hey, look, listen, I'm not looking to be disrespectful, but in case you did want these memories, I did take them.
No, dude, that reception got ruined.
Yeah.
Like I said, like
what about the crowd, the room? Like what the rest of the fam? I don't know how big it was. Let's just say it's 100 people, but like how was that? Like, were they still partying?
Small, I mean, not the immediate family from both sides,
but like guests,
like,
coworkers.
Afterwards, the bride whose like sister-in-law it was that was throwing up. So that bride and her mom came back later, and they were like trying to dance and everything, but like I wasn't really getting good photos of them because they were dancing, but they were very like
just concerned.
Happy.
Yeah.
I mean,
was the makeup like
understandably
just
smearing?
I mean, I don't think so. Like, they
that's
didn't really
crazy,
have
man.
makeup,
That's. Was it
Yeah.
early? Was it? You said it wasn't cocktail hour. It was like once it was actually.
No, it was part of the reception, but like early into the reception.
So it was like
The
first
brides,
hour.
Quarter
the
in.
2 brides, they missed the vast majority of the reception.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So like, there's drama like that. I've had like other like drama stuff too, but never anything like directly with me where
Right.
I'm like, all right, I'm
No, it
leaving.
doesn't. Yeah.
And never anything where I'm like, all right, I gotta tell people how terrible this bride was or whatever. Like it's pretty good normally.
Yeah. Remember that whole story about the couple who didn't feed their photographer?
Oh,
and
yeah.
the guy didn't.
Yeah. I think at that
Do they
one,
always feed you?
It was like a friend though of the
yeah,
couple.
the story was it was a friend,
And they were like complete
which
assholes according
which
to the
is even
story.
more like.
How do you
messed
not
up.
feed your friend?
Yeah.
If you don't feed me, I'm telling you right. If you don't feed me, I'm literally just. I mean, I'm not gonna leave, but I'm probably say something.
Yeah, I because a lot of people. I'm the only wedding photographer that a lot of my friends and stuff know.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like the most like common job where like, everyone on the block, like there's one person on every block that does it. So a lot of people ask me about that during weddings too. Like after that went viral,
They made sure they were like, "Hey,
well,
listen."
I've never had the only time like sometimes there's an issue where like I get like fed late or something. I don't like get a chance to eat or anything. But I've always like they've never just been like, no, nothing for you. Because usually it's like part of the contract and it's standard for the venues.
Yeah.
Like they're always like really good about that. Sometimes like they ask you what you want to, which is nice.
Yeah.
Usually they just give you like
The leftovers.
yeah, like chicken or a fish dish, whatever.
Which is kind of messed up. I don't mean to interrupt you, because like they pay for that technically sometimes.
Yeah.
Like the couples, for those who don't know, if you're getting married, and you're paying for your vendor meals, the way that, I mean, not all venues, so I can't like speak in absolutes and categorize.
A lot of venues like they'll charge like a regular guest price, like, and then vendors and kids are like a discounted
price, like a lesser price, yeah. But it doesn't matter. I mean, look, if you're paying anything, even if it's
still paying
$50,
for it, yeah.
whatever, like the way it works is, and this is for the couples that are booking with venues, they tell you, okay, yeah, like, you're going to have your photographer, your DJ, whatever. And then so you pay for those meals, which thank you very much. We appreciate it. But it's, obviously the day of, like, they're caught up in their own worlds. And then when it's time for eat and we go off to our own little section of the venue to eat, yeah, I mean, some places it's absolutely terrible. Actually, like remember that one time they served us raw food?
Oh yeah,
and like they weren't even like, so we were I'm not gonna say who it was or where it was, but we had like and it was like we get like 15 minutes to eat, right? So we sit down, they come like 10 minutes late with the food, and it's like a bunch of steak, but it's like raw, like it's it's red,
like
bleeding,
family style. Like so, they have like the big platters. You get your plate and put like they served all the guests family style.
Yeah,
they just put it on their
tables.
Yeah,
they served the whole.
And so we wanted to so we asked them, we're like, hey, you couldn't have at least asked us like, hey, can you like cook like, how do you want the meat or whatever?
Yeah.
And so we asked them, can you just cook this a little bit more and make it like medium or whatever? And like they just straight up just were like, no. We're like, but you literally just have to put it back on the grill and just cook it for like a couple minutes longer.
It was like this huge like cut, and the outside was seared perfectly. So from a distance, when you're walking up to it, you're like, oh, dude, finally I'm gonna eat. And then like it was just like red and bloody. like I like a medium rare, so I select the red pink. But it was like your Dragon Ball Z.
It was redder than this.
It was bad.
So red, dude.
Like that was like it was bad, and that's not all the time, but like. Some places have really good food. Some places really do hook it up. They ask you, like you said, what you want to eat, and it's a good time. Yeah. But every now and then, there is...
Some places are real good to vendors. Like, they'll, like, hook you up, like, just because you're working.
There's maitre d's, too, that will come in like, cocktail hour time and would be like, no, like, you're not allowed to touch the food. I'm like, listen, I'm a human being. I've been here for, like, 10 hours. Like, I think I can get, like, a little slice of whatever.
I've had maitre d'... Like, I don't want to be mean, but like, sometimes if you're at like a really shitty venue where like, that's like you've been to some real nice venues. You've seen how nice they get, and you go to some really crappy one, like, sometimes
not lower.
Yeah, I don't want to say
they're not. Yeah,
lower end, but like crappy atmosphere. Like they
budget friendly. Budget friendly.
Yeah, that's what I said, like lower end. Yeah, but budget friendly, but like the people there, like they think they're running like the Mirage in Las Vegas, hosting like this huge event there or something, and like they're worried about like their image, like that type of like
more worried about the image rather than the service.
And I'm like, dude, like look at you, like your building's falling apart. Like there's literally siding coming off the side of this building that I'm trying to take photos by, and you're acting like I'm like destroying something just because I'm like. I happen to be here.
Yeah.
You know what, that did recently happen to me too, actually. We were doing a wedding, and it was, I think, during cocktail hour. I think we did it together too, and we grabbed like, a little plate with whatever stuff on there, and there was like nowhere visibly to sit because there was like one of those venues where they had like 2 weddings going on at the same time or type thing. So it was like the only place we could go to was the reception room, and we went there and we sat.
Sometimes they get pissed.
And then they were like, what are you doing? Like, why are you sitting here? I'm like, this is the only chair available right now in this place. Like, I'm not gonna I could sit on the floor and eat if that's what you want me to do, but like, I'm not like looking to mess up the decor and like, it's just people are rude in that sense.
I've had much more maitre d's that are problems than like couples in general.
Yeah,
sure.
it's never the couples. The couples are always cool.
Yeah, like I get it. Like
staff.
they're working. They have like a job to do too. But like sometimes like they just make your job so much harder.
Yeah.
Because like I mean their job is very important. They obviously if they're not there, like there's a good chance things don't run smoothly. But sometimes it's like I said, like, they think that they're like doing some like high.
They're on a power trip.
Yeah. 100% power trip for
Big
sure.
power trip. So let's backtrack though, right? So people don't know you haven't always been a wedding photographer. We met in college.
Yes, we did.
And those were fun times to say the least.
Yeah, while ago now.
I remember we never necessarily had class together. Like we were just like in the same circle.
We met through Max.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of classes with Max.
Yeah.
We were in business school together.
Yeah.
And
You went for what again?
Finance.
You have a finance degree.
Yeah. I majored in finance and a minor in economics.
You do nothing with
Nice.
that. Yeah.
I did at first.
Yeah.
Like right after college.
Right.
Not now though.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. What was the switch there, right? Why did you become why like you had I mean, you know, you had a good job, you have a degree, and then you're just like I'm going to pick up this camera and make a career out of it.
Well, I was doing like photo work as I don't want to call it work, but I was doing like photography as a hobby, like even when I was in college too.
Oh, really?
Not like freshman year, like when we had first met. I was just doing like phone photos and stuff probably, but I didn't have like a camera. I probably got my first like actual camera like early junior year of college, something like that. And before that, like I was using my sister had like a T3i, like a Canon Rebel, so I would like
Such a Canon camera. Such a common. It's always like, hey, I have a Nikon D300. Did that whatever.
There's always like the set ones.
Yeah.
So if I was ever going anywhere, like if I was like, you know, going to like the car show in New York or something, I would like take her camera. If I'm going somewhere cool, I know I'm gonna take photos, I would take her camera. So then eventually, like, I finally brought my own when I saw one that I wanted on sale, and then after I only bought it because my intention was okay. If I need a good photo of something, like I'll have this camera. Because even like cell phone cameras, we thought they were good back then, but obviously compared to now, they're really not good at all. But yeah, so I got one like just to have a camera, and then I was like, I spent all this money on this camera. I'm gonna like learn a couple things about it. So I watched like a bunch of YouTube videos, Reddit posts, things like that. Oh, that's pretty cool. I learned some of tricks, and I was like, I should like see what everyone says, like these like 50mm lenses and stuff, like really worth it. Like let me try it. So then like I slowly like just got more and more into the hobby, and then at the point like when I like graduated college, I like had like a temp job like through an agency. I you know, going through like all my job hunting interviews and stuff, all that. I was like doing this on the side as a hobby and also like small like paid work. I hadn't done any weddings or anything like that up to that point. Small like portrait kind of shoots, just stuff for family. And then I don't know, I just slowly, I didn't even know when the exact transition happened, but I saw like I was, you know, went from 25% of the time like if 100% of my time is divided in between photography and then like career, like doing all the finance stuff, it went from like, okay, like 25% of the time I was like focusing on photography stuff, looking things up. The rest of the time was like actual work. And then I just slowly noticed like the shift.
Converting.
Yeah, to where like 90% of my day I was like looking up camera stuff, like new techniques, like how did this person do this, that kind of thing. And just like slowly get more and more pulled in. It's like any hobby, because at that point it wasn't like a professional thing I was doing, but yeah, it just got slowly more and more drawn into it when it was like, even when I was like at like, because I worked like in this office in Rutherford, when I was like, if I had like 10 seconds to kill, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta look up what was that tripod thing that I saw before, you know? So it was like constant, like I really enjoyed doing it. Which oddly enough is also one of the reasons that I kind of want to step back from doing it 100% as like my full-time thing now, because I kind of want to be able to enjoy it as a hobby a bit again. Because when you really start like working hard in it and like you have a lot of shit to do, like, you know, I never really do it for fun anymore.
Right.
Like if I'm going out somewhere where I know it's gonna be nice, I'll bring my camera. but I used to just bring it with me like
all the time.
yeah, like just for like just for fun. I'm going to some random place with my friends. Oh, okay, I'll take some cool photos while I'm there, things like that.
Yeah.
Now, like, I only if it's not work, I only really bring it out for like photo specific.
If you're not getting paid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, I could relate to that, man. Because
I want it to be like fun again.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, it's tough. It's a balancing act because it's like with the same device you're working and you're capturing client stuff and stuff for the person that hired you, and then it's like then on top of that it's like well then you also still I guess for fun do it for yourself, and it just becomes overwhelming because you're doing it so much here that it's like the last thing you want to do is like pick up that camera and then go just shoot more stuff. Yeah. I think it's all about following inspiration. I think it's about following passion. I think it's just following what what excites you. Because
I feel like the main thing that like, because I mean, that's like my wife or like close friends. I'm like I like perpetually have new hobbies. Like my favorite hobby is finding a new hobby. You know,
What else do I like?
I can't like it just takes one cool YouTube video where I'm like I'll be like looking at something that I'm into, and then some random like you might also like this, and I'm like, oh, interesting, and then all I look at for 3 weeks.
you're the perfect consumer.
Oh, dude, it's a very like it has to be a pretty like niche kind of thing to draw me in. But like if you're like a little bit in that niche, like you got me. Like I'm gonna watch the YouTube videos. I'm gonna find some cool like forums on this. I'm gonna see like what's going on. You know, like sometimes it keeps going. Like I have hobbies. I still do that stuff like that. But sometimes I do like just to the extent that like I needed to. Like I fall down rabbit holes all the time. I had bought like this little like keychain like flashlight just because like sometimes you're out wherever and like your phone flashlight's not good enough. You know?
Need it, yeah.
So I was looking on Amazon, and then I was like, oh, I just searched like USB-C rechargeable keychain flashlight. Like that was my one thing. I don't want to put batteries. I just want to plug this thing in. When I need a light, I have it on my keys. So then, like you Google that, or you go on Amazon and you see like, oh, this is like the best rated one. And you're like, oh, let me see what the other rated ones are. And then you like, oh, let me go on YouTube and I'll search like a comparison, like the #1 rated one versus the #2 rated one. And then suddenly you find a page with 3 million subscribers that shows nothing but like little flashlights. And you're like, this must be like a pretty crazy page. They're just showing flashlights. They have like 3 million subscribers.
That's a following.
And then, it's like 3 a.m. I'm like
20 videos deep.
Yeah, dude. Like I know my shit about flashlights at that point. Like I can write a paper on flashlights. Like my wife went to bed like 2 hours ago. I was like, oh, I'm coming. I totally forgot. She's knocked out. And like that stuff happens
right there.
Yeah, and I just get like drawn into that kind of stuff. But then like with that, like like once I found like the keychain flashlight I needed, I was like, all right, I'm good. Like I don't.
On to the next.
Yeah, on to the next.
Yeah.
Small obsession, but so like photography, it started with me just kind of wanting a camera just to have, and that's the obsession that kind of took off. But I don't know. I feel like the reason that really became my thing is because I didn't really have a different sort of like a creative output. Like I can't really draw. I'm okay. I can't paint. I can't sing. I don't like play instruments, things like that. So I didn't really have anything to really like.
This is your outlet of
even
expressing yourself.
Yeah, I mean, even if it wasn't like I wasn't like doing like photography specific to express myself, but if I take a photo, like once you learn the basics of editing, like that changes everything. Because when you just first get a camera, you're like, how can I like really make this like position this to look good, and you take photos. But then once you learn like, oh, I can like completely change this up just to my will. Yeah, like with Lightroom and everything like that, those basic ones, it really gets you. And then once you learn Photoshop, you're like, oh, I can make anything. Like I can whatever I comes to mind. I can like I'm like a professional photo editor too, obviously, and I'm like my Photoshop skills. I'm a professional just at like the tools and the Photoshop skills that I need. Yeah. But some people, dude, they can do anything on Photoshop. Like I'm not like. I'm a Photoshop like photo editor, but I'm not like a Photoshop graphic designer.
Right.
Like, have you seen those people that just like pick random photos like off the internet and just like
Like
combine it?
YouTube thumbnails.
Yeah. Yeah, well, not even that. But I mean, like they do like the crazy.
Oh yeah,
like,
I follow a couple pages where they do.
dude,
Well,
it's insane.
you take like the moon, and then you put it like underwater, and then you take like an
Yeah, you could
astronaut, and then you have like a big whale,
Yeah, you
and
could do
you're just like
anything.
it's a different reality that they've created.
Yeah. So that's like, I mean, it's like a different like creative outlook than I was thinking. So mine's still like editing like photos, but like that kind of you need something.
Yeah.
Like you can't just be, like I don't mean you need some sort of hobby that lets you like it doesn't have to like, even if it's like you could get the same kind of satisfaction from video games.
Right.
Like my satisfaction was like when I made something that was really nice, like that photo, and I got like 10 out of 10 photo, like oh, dude, that's satisfaction. Like I
It's
still
a high. It's high.
dude, I still chase that high. I chase that dragon every wedding, dude. I'm chasing that dragon, and like I think we talked about it before too.
Yeah, we did.
Sometimes even like if I know I got like a 10 out of 10 photo, like a guy do some editing and change, like it's 12 out of 10. I'll text like my wife or something and be like, oh, like I just finished editing this. Like I'm not so sure about it. Like what do you think? She's like, oh my god, that's really. I'm like, yeah, no, it's so good. Like,
Damn right, it's good because I did it.
Nailed that shit. Yeah. So like it's still like you definitely get like that rush from something like that, which is like you get that rush from a lot of hobbies. Like if I'm working on like a photo and I'm trying to tweak it and get it like just right, and after like 2 hours, like satisfaction. If you're playing like video games and you beat like that level boss after like 2 hours, it's probably like the same thing.
Yeah.
But like it's nice, just like I enjoyed that, So, but then I mean, this is gonna sound like like I'm bragging, but like I do a lot of weddings,
You do.
and like after a while, like you start getting a lot of consistent banger photos.
And
like
you lose.
not that you lose it, but like
You become numb to it.
yeah, because it's like for a lot of the weddings, it's also like oh, like I just got this banger photo, but it looks super similar to the same banger photo I got from the last ones, So like you kind of
That is a challenge as like a photographer, videographer, because it's so twisted. The irony of like becoming so good at something where because you're in that space and you're seeing it every single week and every single day or whatever, it becomes like basically your reality. It becomes your new standard, your new common, whatever, right? So you're always seeing this angle. You're always seeing this angle. You're capturing that angle. You're always doing this, and to a certain degree, that's all you really can do, at least. But to the client, to the couple, to them, it's the first time. So to them, it's like this thing on a pedestal. But to you, you're seeing it all the time. That you're like, it's just like, you're like creatively challenging yourself to be like, okay, like, well, what else can I do? Like, how else can I come up with something?
Like, sometimes it's like you don't. I don't have like the privilege of like. I don't do this work like in a studio where I could change the set and everything. A lot of it is like if there's a super popular local venue, like a lot of the people in this area who get married, who are married, they go to the popular high-rated venues, and that venue has like a super popular like pose or stuff. Like there's a lot of venues that have something set up, like it's specifically like that venue's photo backdrop.
Yeah.
Like when a couple gets married here, like they get like that's the photo that it'll be on stairs or they're set up some garden but it's all set up for this one specific photo that people like to get at that venue. So for me, it's like this year I've taken this one specific photo like 12 times already. I come here every month. But the couple, it's
their first time.
Their first only time getting married. For them it's like whoa.
The biggest thing.
But for me, it's like that's like that venue's photo.
Yeah.
So
and you already know like how to set up your thing. It's not a challenge to you anymore.
Yeah. Like every now and then, like there's like I have a wedding that we're doing together, Alan, in November. The groom is like a huge like mechanic gearhead, like old school cars, and they're going to be having like, he had told me this a couple of months ago when I first met with them. I don't know if their plans changed, but they're going to be having like a mini car show at their wedding.
Wow.
Oh, you did tell me about this.
But not like, but like it's supposed to be like cool old like vintage and
classic cars.
Things like that. So like that excites me. I'm like, cool.
That's
like, I can do stuff with that. But if we're going to some venue, like the most beautiful venue, my first time ever there, I'm excited. And then like, if a couple like the 10th, 15th time I'm at that amazing venue, you just kind of like don't really care for it.
Yeah.
So now even if this wedding coming up, say it's in a very like subpar place, I'm still gonna be excited for it just because those cars. Like, I'm gonna see like cool different photos.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
I kind of define it as like, okay, like, you know, it's the couple's first time that they're getting married at this venue, like, whereas like we'll go there all the time. So there's the distinction too between like, okay, like, are you doing this for them or are you doing it for yourself? And they could both intertwine because like you said, when you're doing a new venue, partially you're like excited because not even for them at that point, it's like, yo, like I get to shoot somewhere new today. Like that's cool. So then you like get to like just, there's that creative challenging that occurs. And obviously, you know, being the professional that we are, you basically, you know, still kill it anyways because you just, again, just have the skill set or whatever.
And of course, like, even though the more you go to the same place, the more boring it can get.
You get bored because
it gets
you know it.
easier,
It does get easier, yeah. I imagine the same thing happens probably to like artists and like musicians, right? You know, they put out like whatever song, and then you have to go tour that song and perform that over the next 2 months to all these different like stages. Imagine like day 50, you're just rapping or singing the same song. In your head, you're like, bro, like, but you got to come forward with that energy and you got to come forward with, you know, just like the performance because to that crowd that's seeing it, they're seeing you for the first time or whatever time, like, you know, live, and they want to experience that, like, just.
Oh yeah, dude, I remember like, I mean, actually when I first started going like to weddings, I wasn't like a main photographer or anything. I was like people's assistants and stuff, like carrying bags, setting up lights, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And even for that, like I would get like, because I would still like bring my camera and like I wasn't even like a second shooter, but I would still like to like take photos just to practice, kind of slowly build a portfolio. But I was an assistant, and even for that, dude, I would like literally like I could not show up or I could like just not do anything the whole day and nothing would happen. Like the wedding's still gonna go on, the bride and groom wouldn't even notice I'm not there. But dude, I would be so anxious because I'm like, I don't want to mess up. Like I don't want to mess up. You know? Like, I gotta like make sure I like roll this guy's bag real well, set up these like, C-stands, whatever it is. But like I was so nervous for that. Like like the afternoon, the day before, I'd be like, okay, I gotta plug everything in now, make everything is charged. Now like I could just like if my batteries are charged, my bag is packed, I could like roll out of bed, put on a shirt, and go to shoot a wedding.
I think that's what makes you so good, to be honest with you, bro. You literally shadowed and assisted in the wedding game for so long, but not everybody does.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people are so bad.
That's true. So no, but you know, you assisted and you shadowed and you were like second shooter and assistant shooter and just you like you said, you were like, I'm gonna roll this bag the best way that I possibly could for this guy. Like that's a mindset though, right? Like that's like you being you and you being like, I'm gonna apply myself, learn.
The dangerous thing is though, you don't want to do that for too long because at the end it is like a creative like industry profession. So you don't want to be like, you know, even if you're some guy's assistant and for some you're getting paid real well, you don't want to be any one specific person's like assistant or secondary or anything like that for like too long, especially right in the beginning, because then their style immediately becomes your style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's even like right now, there's a lot of like things that I do that I know, like I take photos like this way, or like I set my lights up this way because you know, I've earlier on when I was first learning, that's why I see a lot of people do it. And now like, you know, I'll change it up and realize, oh, you know, I prefer it this way.
Yeah.
But say if you're the same person's like strictly that one person's assistant or second photographer or whatever, everything for a while, you're gonna do everything the exact same way as them. Yeah. So it is like dangerous. You don't want to be like influenced too much to the point where like your own creativity is like, I don't want to say like hindered, but influenced.
Influenced
like,
a little too much.
Yeah, it should be influenced to the point where you learn and you get like some ideas, but it shouldn't, you know, be your exact kind of thing.
Yeah.
So when people like don't do anything like that and they jump right into it, like I don't really know if it would be better because it's like I saw like I learned a lot from those people, but my like there's a influence on my style because of them for sure. Yeah. So if I just like got a camera, whenever I mean, it's like a meme in like the wedding, like a joking wedding photography community. Like fall, like is when all like the new like not fall, like spring is when all like the new like white girl photographers come out
Yeah.
because it is
Sorry, white
so
girls.
true. I don't mean like
None against
I don't mean like they're not like coming out like a professional level,
Yeah.
but they'll get whatever the latest Canon Rebel is for Christmas.
Yeah.
Beginning of February, they have like they already made like a photography Instagram or Facebook page.
Yeah.
And then like March, April, they have like a bookings email in their bio.
They're getting started
like,
early.
That happen like all the time. And obviously, they're not like competing for like weddings and stuff. Like
The weddings that you're doing.
Yeah. Like
You might have like your friend or whoever.
yeah, they're they might get like some people into taking like graduation photos or something for them.
Yeah, something minor.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like if you're someone like that and you jump like right into weddings, you're definitely going to develop more of your own unique style because you're not influenced by anyone.
Yes.
But it's going to take you a lot longer to learn like the basic stuff and just like how the flow goes. A lot of it is just like watching people just navigate through the day because now like even at this point, like if you like see me, like if you're the main, say there's four people, like 2 photographers, 2 videographers. Usually the main photographer is kind of like directing, and then like the main videographer is like the photographer will do like the set up like poses and shots stuff like that. Videographer like will adjust it because you have to see what's good for video, obviously. But usually like the videographer is not like taking them around the venue, like doing that kind of stuff. But you learn how to do that like well by shadowing people. If you just jump into it, you're not gonna really know how to like direct things like that. You might know how to take a really good photo, but if you don't know how to like direct people like exactly on what you want them to do, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, the flow of the day.
Yeah, you learn a lot of that stuff. But now like, I used to have like a lot of anxiety when I first started, even though I wasn't important whatsoever. And then like once I got like really good at being like an assistant and like a second shooter, that went away. And then when I first started doing like main too, like it came back obviously. Like,
It's a step up because
Yeah,
now it
oh,
all
yeah.
falls on you.
Oh yeah, like if I like mess up, like it's done.
Yeah.
So I was really waiting, but now it's just like, dude, I'm like so nonchalant now because like say if something's out of my control on a wedding day, what am I gonna do? Like take photos of it until it's fixed? Like I can't do anything. I'm a photographer. But then like if it's like if we're like running a little late and the bridal party's just being like they're just being like hooligans or like just not taking it seriously, I'll tell them like you like I'm not gonna be like a drill sergeant and be like get up, get dressed, we got it, this that. But I'm gonna be like
I know people who do that though.
oh yeah, I mean I definitely have before. Late 2020, I like decided to binge watch The Sopranos.
Yo, I've been watching that show religiously right now.
In like a couple of weeks, I watched the whole series. And definitely my first like few weddings after that, I was a bit.
It gets to you.
Yeah, I was.
You're influenced.
For sure, dude.
I've seen it firsthand with this guy, man.
Dude, I've came in hot in the studio.
Yeah,
I told Matt one time, I was like, yo, I'm sorry. I've been watching too much Sopranos.
Oh yeah, like if a bridal party wasn't listening, like they were getting it. But now it's like,
Maroon.
They're getting the talk.
But now my like I don't know, like the way I feel about it is more like I'll tell them like it's your day. I'm just like I'm telling you like what you should do to make it better, but like it's your day. You know what? Like
It's a very nonchalant approach.
Yeah, like do whatever you want. I'm gonna take photos. I'm not gonna. I'll try to push you to make sure the day runs better for different things, but I'm not taking charge of your wedding day. I've done that. Sometimes you have to. And I've done it in the past where like I basically become like the
director essentially.
Yeah, not even that. Like I'm like the bride's like literal like shepherd. I'm like, all right, move here. Okay, now you got to go here. Go get dressed. Don't forget to use the bathroom. Here, have some water.
Wash your hands.
Yeah, I'm just like, how did this fall on me? Like, I'm not doing that.
I'm not getting paid extra for this.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna do my job like the best that I can, and I'm gonna do things that help my job.
Easier, make it easier.
Yeah, like even if that's like telling you guys you're running late, we gotta things like that. But I'm not gonna
shepherd them.
Yeah, dude, it's a lot sometimes. Like
it really is.
Like they don't. I'm just like I'm not your babysitter.
Right.
I hired here. Like I want to be here and I'm having fun. I like you guys. I'm not gonna like get mad at you and ruin your flow and everything. But you understand,
We gotta
like
get shit done.
if you run late and you don't get the stuff that you wanted, like
That's on you.
Yeah.
It's like you're adults.
yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna tell you.
You're letting
this
them
is
know.
what's going on, but I'm not gonna force you to do anything.
right.
Do whatever.
And you really can't force anybody to do anything
Yeah.
either because it's, they're adults.
Yeah. The only time I really get like, I don't want to say mad. Mad's not the right word for it, but like frustrated or like I've raised my voice is more to like family members, like especially like during group photos and stuff like that.
They're trying to take the photo instead.
Not even just that, but like sometimes like for some reason it's like a theme that like these random like cousins' moms think they're better at my job than I am. You know, I'm just, like I'll have everything set up and then. Like some lady will just walk. Like I'll have like this like real like we'll be in this nice venue. I'll move some stuff around in front of the fireplace. Big
No.
photo.
Aytek, no.
And they'll just like grab a chair and start like dragging it across. They're like, I thought it looked better here. And I'm so what are you? You're like, what do you mean?
I'm sorry. Do you want the camera?
Yeah, or like the most annoying thing is when they were like trying to be helpful though and like turning on lights, opening blinds, things like that. I'm like no. Like I adjusted all of that, you know. Things like that.
They mean well, but their actions don't correspond to that.
But then like those ones I get frustrated. I don't like get mad at obviously because they're trying to help. But then sometimes people like try to like take over like the process.
Yeah.
Like someone's mom tell you like this that, but then like you gotta get mad at their mom sometimes. Yeah.
No, I can imagine that happens.
No. But
That's
I
funny.
mean I don't want to. It's like mostly like. If it's like immigrant parents and stuff like that. And I mean, I think we all have immigrant parents.
Yeah.
We all know
For
the
the most part.
differences between our parents and like our white American friends' parents.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I was born in another country.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. The thing, like, even like me, like, dude, like my parents, like first my white, like, I don't want to say like my parents. I'm saying like, oh, they're phenomenal. I couldn't have asked for better parents, but
Right.
just like the way that like,
They
upbringing-
think.
yeah, like compared to like my like white American friends, like I'm white. If I tell people like I'm white, I'm not like white American.
Yeah.
It's different. You know, like a guy like but my parents grew up in like farm villages and everything. It's not the same as like my friend whose grandparents came here on a boat like 100 years ago
And lived in
Right.
Wayne for
yeah,
like.
exactly. it's like they
There's a
teach
difference.
your parents teach you different lessons growing up.
There's a difference.
with that, yeah. But so a lot. It's usually more of a problem with like those kind of parents, like the more like headstrong type
Right.
of parents.
Matt, actually, you had an encounter with a couple the other day, right? Hispanic,
Yeah.
not to put like Latinos on blast, but it was like
Yeah.
just it had nothing to do with like the culture. Actually, it had just to do with like I guess the type of people they were.
Yeah, I guess it's just like older crowd, and again, it's just having to deal with patience.
The couple was older too.
Yeah, the couple was older, and again, we're just used to, I guess, the digital format of sending, over files, and they were very insistent on getting a USB, and it's just like that really wasn't part of the package. I was like, I'll do it for you, and then I gave him the USB, and then they called me. I'm eating dinner.
You said this was for photos.
Yeah, I did photos, and they're like, we can't see the photos, and I'm like. And like mind you, like their TV is like old Vizio, probably like 2000 and
Oh, they were putting in their TV to look at.
yeah,
them.
and I'm like, you probably want to use a laptop. Like, oh, we don't have a laptop. I'm like, well, and like we're pressing it, it's not working. I'm like, I'll come. Give me the next day, and I'll come. But it's just like one of those, just like they get at you because it's not working. It's not like, why wouldn't I give you the files? Like you think I'm trying to like rip you off and like not give you your own files that you already paid for. So it became a hassle, and it was just like, I guess a Peruvian thing too, and like the way they kind of come at you, and it just reminded me of like family members that I know how they would have responded to.
Yeah.
So it's annoying, but it's funny. It's just like you have to learn how to be patient and understand where that's just the way they think, and that's just the way.
You
they
definitely
are.
have to be patient about it.
Yeah.
A lot of them, like I said, like the ones who are trying to be helpful, like they're genuinely trying to make your job easier. They're like, oh, look, he forgot to put the lights on for this photo.
Yeah.
Things like that. But then there's like the people who try to like take over, do your job for you, that kind of thing.
Just
That's
like-
when like sometimes you have to be
Like relax,
pushy
please.
with them,
Yeah. But just like anything.
Yeah, I've got like like, I've been frustrated like with that weddings, and every now and then you get like a bridal party member, like usually it's a groomsman who's like reluctant
Yeah.
to like take photos, because like obviously like you're only taking. I'm not telling the couples like we're taking these photos, these like they tell me what they want. And I show them the best way to do it. Like I've had couples say like they don't even want to take like bridal party photos, family photos, just get us hanging out in a group. I was like, even better.
Yeah.
You don't have to do like the group pose photos,
Yeah.
But every now and then, like, if the couple wants a lot of group pose photos, you're going to take a lot of group pose photos. Like, sometimes they want to do the same ones in different parts throughout the day.
Right.
And even though, you're like, it's not necessary, but it's what they want. You're going to do it. So every now and then you'll get, like, a groomsman who is, just doesn't want to keep taking photos.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little cold outside. He's,
Yeah. I always find that
bratty
interesting,
about it.
too.
You got to get mad at them, too, like, loud at them sometimes, too.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're spending, it's like, yo, you're paying...
yeah.
You're spending thousands of dollars. Like, what do you mean you don't want your
Like,
photo taken?
Yeah, so you gotta tell them like, all right, like you're an adult. You can go inside, do whatever you want, but your best friend and his wife who are standing right next to you, like
Right.
you can
They care about this photo.
Yeah, they want that photo.
You can explain to them why you're not going to be in this photo and go inside. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't even know your name. It doesn't matter to me.
And that's just more like with the men, I would assume, right? Like they're like, all right, we're tired of taking the same
For that
pose. Women,
that-
I'm sure they're just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, the bridesmaids, the problem is more like, like something happens, like
My hair.
there's always like the bridesmaids where like after every like set of photos, like, okay, I gotta go do a touch up, like things like that. But like reluctancy wise, it's usually the guys who are like, I'm done.
I think that's just the man thing.
I mean, between the bride and the groom too, it's like that's how it goes too. I've only had like that I can recall, like very specifically. I only remember one groom who was way more into the photos than the bride, to the point like he was the one like asking questions. He was the one sending like Pinterest boards, doing this, that. Like she was more like how a groom normally is. She's like, oh, if that's what you want, So it's usually like the grooms in general are kind of like they just want her to be happy.
Right.
Just, usually how the day goes.
How'd it go for your wedding? Because your girlfriend, or I'm sorry, backtrack there.
Girlfriend at the time.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But she's also a photographer, hobbyist photographer, but she's really good. And, you guys got married, so now you guys are a husband and wife.
That's how it goes.
And
Congrats again.
could be husband and husband. Could be wife and wife.
No.
But in your scenario, you guys are both, sort of photographers. Who cared more about the photos, for your wedding? I know we did like kind of like part video thing for it, like we filmed it, but like, photograph wise, we weren't the photographers for your wedding. So
for her, I didn't like have like, oh wait, it has to be like this. Like I was.
Well, this is for you guys and partial family too, because obviously of
Mm-hmm. Well, it was more like you'll see like in my edited photos and stuff too. I like the more like dramatic, like a little dark, moody kind of like edit. If you're in like a bright, sunny field, you're not really gonna do that. But if I can get like some nice dramatic lighting, that's my favorite. She prefers like the light, airy, like misty kind of photos. So the photographer was definitely more her style. But it was like great photos. Yeah, like I liked her photos too. I had asked around some people that like I like shoot a lot with and friends, but like she doesn't really like their styles.
Yeah.
Like, not that they're bad. That's just not her style.
Yeah, it's just not her.
There's this. We found this other girl who also had shot her cousin's wedding, 3-4 months before ours. Who's like she's good. I liked her.
Yeah. No, they seemed good. I saw them. Wow, I just drew a blank real quick. No, so if you had to describe like your style of photography, right, for people who haven't seen your work, for people who don't know you, how would you say your approach to your wedding photos are? Like and you're not just a wedding photographer, but just, what is your style if you had to describe that?
Do you mean like
the final image is the results when you deliver that? If somebody said, hey, like, are you like a black and white artist? Are you, like you said, that light and airy look? You just said you like dramatic, a little bit more punchy light. So does that reflect, in your words?
I prefer like the more moody images. Like if I can get like a shadow with like a nice sharp crease,
Right.
you know, like really like bring it out in the edit, like through like a nice window, you know, things like that. I like that, like the drama, the contrast. Black, like I do like black and white ones. There's some photos where like you have to do in black and white. It looks so much better.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll if there's specific photos like you like there's some photos where like you can really only do black and white like to save the photo, because sometimes like the lighting will get messed up. For weddings, it happens a lot at like the reception, the dancing photos, because the DJ will have like all these crazy lights. And you'll get a really good photo of someone, but like there'll be like half of this green circle like on this face just from the DJ, you know?
Yeah.
So you can't really like, unless you do some like heavy like Photoshop. Like I'm not good enough to do that easily. Like you kind of have to do it in black and white, and it comes out really good. But I'll do like some photos, like I'll send a regular edited and a black and white edited too. It's like the extra emphasis.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say like the dark, dramatic, moody. I like one or two. If I'm setting up lights, I like one or two lights. I don't like a whole. So even for like dance floors and stuff, like I've done it with like 3-4 lights before, and like to light up the whole thing. But then like, it looks like a school dance. Like everything's all lit up. Everyone's like, you know, having a good time. But I like the. There's like a specific word, but I can't like think of it. But I like the dramatic look.
I know what you mean. Yeah. Not to jump around too much or get crazy with stuff. You photographed Paris Hilton, right?
I did photograph Paris Hilton
Nice.
at a fashion show.
Fashion show. Yeah. How was that like?
That was cool. That was for the blondes, and the blondes they're not like the most famous like brand, but for New York Fashion Week, they're popular and like known as like they kind of close off Fashion Week. Like it's always at the end. Like I'm not sure like if it's always set the same way, because I only went once to them, but they're like really popular. Like, a lot of like, celebrities come like more to see, but also like some to walk and everything too, which is where I saw Paris Hilton, and that was cool. I just put on my resume that because you know
It's on your website.
I mean, I directed her for a couple of photos. Like she was like, you know, doing what I was telling her to. She had a bunch of like different accessories and stuff on. I was like, oh, move your hair, and then she was like, I was like, oh my god, Paris Hilton, listen to me. Like stuff like I was doing like stuff like that. But it was cool. That was a weird experience, because for that, like that's like a really legit show. Like there's some shows where you kind of just like ask and you get like a photography pass for it.
Right.
You know, that one's really legit, and I couldn't get access to. At the end of the runway, like obviously, like you guys seen fashion shows, there's the runway, people sitting at the sides, and at the very end, it's called the pit, which is where all the photographers are, to get them walking straight down towards you. So I didn't have access to the pit, but I had access to the whole like backstage area when they were setting up, like they were getting all their hair, makeup, like all that, like you know, last minute tailoring, things like that. And then I was backstage, like there's like the runway, the curtain, and then there was a group of photographers right backstage, because after they get off the runway for the last time, because they probably go a couple times, like each person, after they get off the runway, like they all just go back there and like celebrate, like, oh, we did it, and then like they all do group poses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was there for the prep and for like the after show meeting thing, it was cool. It was very hectic.
Yeah.
Like I went there because someone I knew was doing an interview for a magazine. Like they were interviewing someone for a magazine, like one of the designers. So I got in as like the interviewer's photographer.
Oh, all right.
And then I just like went to the backstage and did some photos too. But yeah, no, it was cool. It was hectic. Like a lot of like all those photographers, like they all hate each other. Like not like directly, but like they're like talking to each other like friends, but when you see like they're really competing hard for this photo, and like I get it, but like they're like real like pushing each other out of the way. I had went with like my regular camera backpack I was using at the time, and I noticed a lot of the photographers like they were all bringing in like the Pelican 1510 cases, and they wouldn't even be full. Like they could have just brought like a little side bag just for like their camera and a couple lenses, but they do that because like they use them to like stand up on to get like better views and stuff for the show. And like backstage, like some people like had like full assistants with them, like holding soft boxes, like following around holding soft boxes. Some people had like little soft boxes. I was just like squeezing through this like sea of photographers. I just had one flash on my camera, and like I found a lot of like the photos afterwards, and like there's some people took really good ones, but I saw some like that even like the blondes posted on their own page that were like really really bad.
Yeah.
But it's just like a very popular like photographer that they probably hired directly to come there. But like yeah, dude, those people are like pushing each other out of the way. Like the main people there, like Paris Hilton, Lil Kim was there, like a bunch of like they have their own security with them backstage, just like to fucking dude. Lil Kim, when I didn't even, she was doing like a concert on the show, at the end of the show on the runway, and then like she was like one of the last people to leave the stage because she like closed it out. So like, say like they were if we're backstage, they're coming in from the left side and coming in like down all the way to the right, and then they were like go there take photos, like I said, the runway models, and like I don't even know who it was, but I had turned, so I was facing away from where they were walking in from, taking photos, and then all of a sudden I just feel like this like baseball bat, like feel like I'm doing this, and I just feel like boom, like pushing me, like not like hitting me, but like very aggressively like pushing me out of the way, and it's just like this huge yoked dude, just with his like 3 foot forearms, just like pushing people out of the way. It was like Lil Kim's like
entourage.
Like her like bodyguard. So it's like, but I kind of get it. Like there was a lot of people there. Like if you're like Paris Hilton probably would have been like mobbed, you know. So I get it, but they're it's hectic. A lot of competition, fun. I would do it again. I probably wouldn't want to do like I did a lot of fashion photography, but I did like editorials, not like runway stuff. Like,
in the beginning.
Yeah.
When you were doing both, because you used to do a little bit more of both. You focused on weddings over the years.
Yeah.
You stayed away.
Sure.
You just kind of switched up your.
Editorials are cool. You go to like cool places. Like you have a lot more like I have a lot more time to set stuff up the way I like, set up my lights, soft boxes, all that kind of stuff. But weddings definitely more money. Yeah, for sure.
That's always the balancing act,
for
right?
For editorials, you have to either be doing a lot or you have to be doing like more high end kind of stuff. But yeah. What were we talking about?
No, just we were talking about shooting Paris Hilton.
Celebrities.
Right. So
Celebrities. That was cool.
I would definitely like do fashion again, but more editorials. I run like shows that's hectic. It was cool. I'm glad I did all the backstage stuff instead of like the pit stuff, because that's even more like you're taking elbows to the ribs in the pit, like because a lot of the shows are super competitive. But it was cool being backstage. A lot of like interesting stuff. Yeah,
that's crazy. That's cool though.
Yeah, I got asked like last minute to do it, like maybe like an hour and a half before the show.
That's last minute.
Yeah,
that's last minute.
And I was like, oh hell yeah, I'll do that for sure. And like,
you didn't even did you know they were gonna be there or no?
Paris Hilton and stuff.
Yeah, like them. Like I mean, you're going for a fashion week, and it's like an actual like you said. There's runways that are like.
I knew it was a big one, and every year there's like it's not like Beyonce and Jay-Z don't show up.
Right.
But every year there's like celebrities there. I didn't know exactly who it was going to be. But then later on they told me like Paris Hilton's like is usually there.
That's part of fire.
Yeah. But I found it like last minute. Like it was like, and I couldn't drive into the city at that time, because by the time I drove in, found parking and everything, all that, like I would have been way too late. And I couldn't like get onto a train that quick and get down there, because I'm pretty sure it was around the financial district. But I got my dad to drop me off. I told him, I was like, I gotta be this like an hour and a half. Like he dropped me off like probably like hour 15, because it was like
right on the money. Yeah.
And then I got home at like 5 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, because it ended late, and then they were like, oh, there's like a after. You know the High Line in New York.
Yeah.
Like
yep.
One like some rooftop like thing that they have there. They went to like an after party there, and I was like, yeah, I'll go. Like just like I'm not gonna, party with these people. Like I want to see what this is like. So I went. That ended like super late. There was no trains after that. So what I had to do was I took a PATH train from the city to Jersey City, and then Ubered from Jersey City home, because it's so late. But yeah, that was cool. I would do it again.
Yo, how is speaking of fun stuff and speaking of like some of these editorials where we have more creativity, you recently just went to Iceland, right?
Yeah, Iceland was cool. I went in.
We
September.
literally have not talked about that like at all. I know nothing about you in Iceland.
Yo, Iceland was cool. That's an interesting way that me and Iceland. Yeah, we go way back.
What's
In
that?
Like
Iceland.
the way you said that, like, oh, me, yeah, you and Iceland, like, we were old friends.
Well, no, because I remember you know obviously you were gonna do that getaway post marriage, and then I
Yeah,
was like,
that was like our right after the wedding. That was like our mini honeymoon.
Yeah.
And then at end of summer we went to Iceland.
so
Like our honeymoon.
dude, like I want to go to Iceland so bad. How was that?
It was like that had been like my number one like travel destination for like a long time.
Yeah.
It totally lived up to it.
Really?
I would go again 100%.
I've seen the
Yeah.
promos. That's real,
There's a
seems
lot
real
of
nice.
there's a lot of places that I would go again to do something different. I would literally go again to do the exact same thing I did the first time and enjoy it. It was
Really?
so nice, dude. Actually, I'll show you photos.
Yeah,
But
I have seen nothing from it
Yeah,
yet.
yeah. Can I put photos on there?
I think you could, yeah.
Yeah. This is where,
Well, how about we just feature the photos on?
okay,
like,
yeah. I'll send it to you later. I don't know if this was like Joe Rogan record like area. Pull that up, Jamie.
Yeah. Well, so you'll show them to me
Yeah, for sure,
afterwards,
but
and then
was so
I mean, you
cool,
could show them to me now, pull them up, and then we'll still pull them up on screen.
I haven't even edited all of them, but like, I probably have like a.
Where did you go in Iceland, and what did you do? Like what
We went around like the southern half of the
Okay.
island. The northern half is really cool. Northern half is a lot more like wilderness, like off-roading mountain
Right.
type of stuff. But you have to have like specific cars and stuff to get around there. So we went like around the southern half, which is really cool. Well, let me go on to my NAS. and
There's a lot of
show you.
geysers right there too, right? Is that
Yeah.
right? That's what it's called. And then Northern Lights. That's where they hit, really? The Northern Lights?
Yeah, the Northern Lights are in Iceland, right?
Yeah, we didn't see them while we were there though.
Oh, wow.
It's like hit or miss. Like you
Yeah,
gotta be
it's,
like,
it's very
From the
yeah.
season or just randomly it happens?
randomly. Everything
Yeah.
has to be perfect, And
Perfect.
Iceland is like consistently cloudy, so it's
Right.
like hard. When you're dude, if you're driving through like the just long stretches of road and it's just fields for miles, and you see like mountain ranges and stuff in the back
Yeah.
in some parts of these. But every 10 minutes, it'll go from being crystal clear to super foggy to torrential downpour.
So like
it's
Florida.
just like it just cycles. And
Really?
yeah, like we'll be like, oh, let's open the windows. It's so nice. And then, oh, close them. It's raining. Like, dude, it's so fast.
It's like bipolar weather, but it's nice, huh? Yeah.
Let me show you some of these photos.
Um,
So I haven't edited all of these, but
no, I'm excited to see these, bro. Oh wow. You bought the trench coat jacket thing too. Remember you were getting like
Oh,
a
yeah.
yellow or red one just to like for
yeah,
the photos
as
to
soon-
pop.
As soon as I told you I was going to Iceland, your first question, you weren't even like when this that. You were like, oh, what color jacket you get? And the answer is I got a yellow one.
Of course. You're gonna pop out.
Bro, look at this picture.
What?
Which one is that?
I don't know, just the first one.
Oh, dude, that was the first place that we went, and I was like, this is so amazing. And then compared to the rest of the trip, that was the most like lackluster waterfall of them all. It gets so much better.
That mountain color, I feel like that's the style like you like. Like I don't just naturally, I don't know.
Which one?
But with the first picture you just showed, like that dark punch.
that is, yeah.
That
Yeah.
you like that. I
Yeah,
feel
so I
like,
added
and
that,
it just
yeah.
naturally looked like that.
My man discovered the S curve and then just
Makes a big difference. Dude, I'm telling you, like the top right of the S curve, I bring it down just a little bit, But
people don't know about
I
that
like
S
style,
curve.
yeah. Like I don't like super.
That looks like a matte
Dude,
black church.
There's
It looks
so
dope.
many. There's a bunch of like just small churches all
Right.
around Iceland in the most insane location. I have so many cool church photos there.
Yeah.
It's just like this tiny little church.
Right.
But then the background is unreal.
Just mountains.
But
and-
that's how all of Iceland is. No matter where you are in Iceland, the background's unreal.
Oh, these are sick.
Yeah, no, I'd go again for sure.
What's this waterfall called again?
Skogafoss. I'm pretty sure. It's Skogafoss.
Wow. This is like almost tripod work if you want to like Photoshop all these people out, right?
I photoshopped all the people out in some of the photos.
Oh, really?
There's one with my wife
Yeah,
in it.
look at this. Look, so this one has all the people, and then look at that. And then wait,
And then he takes it.
boom,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
everyone's gone.
Yeah.
That's a good Photoshop job.
Deleted.
I could see a little part here where it got
Yeah,
a
if
little
you
hard.
look like super close,
Yeah.
you can see
It's where the
but
girl was, but this is great, dude. Yeah, your Photoshopping skills are on point.
I That's I've had to cut a lot of people.
Do
out
you
of,
not? Are you not in any of these photos?
There's ones of me too,
You really like being behind the camera, huh?
for the most part.
Yeah.
But there's some photos that she took of me. I mean, I haven't like edited the ones. I don't really care about the ones of me. I did ones of the background or of her, and then there's like ones that we took together too. But you know, it was so cool.
How was the weather though? Cold?
We went in September, and it was not as cold as I was expecting it to be. Like I packed much more intense like winter gear. Nothing like big parkas and stuff, but a lot more like under layer type of stuff. But it was like consistently like high 40s. It wasn't even bad.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Yeah. Some parts were definitely like pretty cold, and I had like a fleece lined like winter pants and everything that I'm pretty glad I brought.
Right.
But like sometimes I got like hot while I was there too.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part? Like out of everything that you did, saw, whatever. Oh, you went to the airplane site.
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
Next, I have to. I mean, it was you couldn't get any photos of it really without.
yeah.
I have photos of me on it that I got to Photoshop the people out of. That's the next on the Photoshop task.
Dude.
Yeah, the airplane was cool though.
Wow, look at this one, bro. I can't see. Look, yo, that's tough.
Yeah, that was cool. One.
Oh god.
My wife took that one, honestly.
Yeah, nah,
Dude,
she's a photographer, bro. She knows how to take that photo.
Like I stood up there for like 10 minutes, just like waiting. Cause there's crowds of people,
yeah.
and you could do like ATV rental tours.
Really?
So like a group of people would leave, and then like
You just
10
hear,
minutes 10 minutes later, this like group of ATVs would come over the hill, and like but it looked like something out of Mad Max.
Yeah, just
'Cause,
coming
like,
for you.
You see the sand was all black.
Yeah.
So you'd hear like, and you look over these black sand dunes, just dust in these
This horse.
ATVs. Yeah.
You see this horse?
Yeah. Make that your background, bro.
Bro, that's
Well,
hilarious.
I got like 2 really good photos of dude. The animals there were cool.
Those are some
But-
good photos. Those
Yeah.
are amazing. I like just love traveling now too, and just knowing that like I'm gonna snap some bangers. My biggest problem is always like, oh, do I take a photo or do I take a video? Like I want both,
Oh, those are nice.
and then I try and do both, and then it's always like, you know, I can make one be really really good, 100% to its best,
Yeah.
or I could take like 2 things and they'll be like 80% good because it's
So,
like.
are you doing like you mean like a video for like a Instagram post?
I think just
kinda thing,
everything.
or-
I'm big on the memories. You know, I
Yeah.
think part of the reason why I started all of this was like I like documenting and I like just
Yeah.
creating memories, capturing moments.
The vast majority of photos I take, no one, including me, sees. Like, I mean, when I edit them, I'll see them, but like you know, I'll put it
Yeah.
on my drive, and then like I have them there, like memory stuff, things like that. But
Yeah.
you know, even though I took so many photos in Iceland, I'm gonna edit a ton of them that I'm never gonna
Never gonna post or
ever.
nothing. Yeah.
But you know, in the future, I'm gonna be like, you know, me and my
Yeah.
wife will probably be like, oh, let's look at those Iceland photos from the first time you went.
Do you
That-
frame photos like, as far as keep them in your house for your own good?
Only like family photos.
Only
I have a
family?
couple like family photos I took that I have like little 4x6 prints of like on my desk and on a shelf and stuff. When I had when I was trying to build a photography portfolio, when I first started, like I don't even know what I just wanted a portfolio. I don't even know what I was building it for. I used to print like 8x10s, and I had like a little like portfolio sleeve that I would show people. But it's not even like I was applying to. I just like
Yeah.
had like, I mean, they were like mostly like landscape photos, because that's what when I was doing that as a hobby. I was doing like I was going hiking, camping, whatever, and taking a bunch of landscape photos. But I would print it out for that, and if it's not that, just like family photos.
What would you say is your like favorite photo ever that you've taken, if you have one? I know that's.
I have a lot that come to
My boy
mind.
got a catalog.
Oh, so what are a couple? Like what you know? Is it moments
So-
or is it like, you know, travels?
I mean,
like
my favorite photos now are probably like Iceland. Like, a lot of the photos I took in Iceland, because they're so
So maybe like top
unreal.
three.
But-
Like what are just top 3 like
Well,
photos?
There's one specific photo that I took, like I wasn't even doing photography for that long.
And my graduation photos don't count, by the way.
Yeah, those are top. I wasn't even doing it for that long, but I gotta find it now. I have it on my NAS. But it was a photo I took me and my 2 cousins. We were backpacking in the Catskills, and I was like, when you're backpacking, you go through like a lot of like trails and stuff. Mostly, every now and then you have to go onto a road and like walk down the road a little bit to the next
Right.
trailhead. But when we were walking down a road in the Catskills, and we came up on this like small lake with this like I think it was like a clubhouse kind of thing. Like this, I'll show you. It looks really cool. I guess I gotta find this photo.
Some of my favorite photos that I think we've taken together when we've like taken trips to New York and just miscellaneous places is when we did the vessel. Remember when we went to do that?
Especially there was that ultra wide one.
I
we
know.
did straight down.
We'll pop it up on the screen so people can see it.
Yeah,
What I'm talking
that was
about.
really cool.
But yeah, I remember I called you up and I was like, you know what's funny? I had like a basic like it was like a crop DSLR. It was like the Canon 80D 90D.
Yeah, I remember that.
I had a kit lens which was like an 18 and 135, so there's like an f4, which is like just not it for this type of shoot.
Definitely. Yeah.
But I was like, yo, I didn't even know that like lenses weren't like transferable between like Sony and Canon and like different cameras. I was just like, yo, a lens is a lens. It'll go on the thing. I just need a wide lens. And then I was like, yo, but like they just opened this up, and we went like opening week. Like we were like one of the first like 100 people that got there, and we got the tickets. We went there, and we just took like a bunch of photos, and we just did our thing. And they featured our photos on their Instagram, which was kind of cool. But we have like this super wide, massive shot where you just see the entire like honeycomb looking piece of like architecture. And then we did some stuff like right around sunset because we had gotten there at the right time.
They had like, that was one of their first days that they were open too.
Yeah, no, it was like the day. Like we went like, no. So they had like a opening week, but we went there like that week before because I remember waking up in the morning like 6, 7 a.m. when they opened up like the roll call tickets, and it was like the first people get it. And I just like logged on my phone and just refresh. I got like a ticket. I was like in line, like number 47 or whatever, and then like just it was free too. Like you didn't even have to pay any money. You just had to be there when they released it.
Nice.
And at that time, that's when I did it more for fun too. For me, it was like I was just thinking of like what are some cool places, like travel places, locations, like. I always think to myself, like, we live in such a cool area. We live in New Jersey, which is right outside New York. Ironically enough, you only really get to see the New York skyline outside of New York. So, if you go to Hoboken, Edgewater, Jersey City, or you're on the Brooklyn side of things, you get super awesome views. And it was like, I was just trying to find new perspective. I was trying to find like, just like like okay, like everyone knows a typical New York skyline photo, but it's like how can we make that interesting and give like a contrast between like the foreground and background, like how can we tell a story with it, like what is something cool. And then when they opened up the vest, I was like, whoa, like I've never seen anything like this in my life. I was like, we have to capitalize on this moment,
just the way it stands out.
Yeah, it's so
because it has no purpose. It's not like there's no office in
it's
there.
literally just a flex. It's like worth a couple millions of dollars in what they call Billionaires Row, because that's like a whole just rich area.
There's plenty of amazing looking structures in Manhattan, like all like buildings from like small stuff to skyscrapers that serve a purpose. That's just there to be cool. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
just to
literally.
just to
that
look
itself
cool.
is a piece of art.
Oh yeah.
All those staircases, and it's actually kind of cool. I haven't been since, honestly. I went once with my grandfather. I took him.
It looks really cool from the Jersey side too, across the Hudson.
Yeah.
You just see it like this like weird like egg thing. Like I don't like it's
just cool, man.
I don't want to say weird. It's
a good weird.
It stands out.
Yeah, no,
definitely, but it looks cool.
But we took some banger photos.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was all. I feel like you obviously understood like the assignment. Like I was like, "Yo, here's kind of like what I want," and you were like, "Pa, pa, pa, I got you." And
that was a cool day. Yeah, I was excited to be there too.
I know
because they had been building that for a while. I mean, like we kept like seeing it online, and then I was like, finally, like this egg stair thing is open. Like, let me see what it's about, and it lived up to it. It's cool. Yeah. They have a bunch of like glass railings now though, because a bunch of people kept jumping off.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, so I knew about the suicides, but I didn't know that they like added stuff to it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it in person, but I'm pretty sure I had read that if they were only temporary, I don't know, but they're putting up stuff.
See, this is why we can't have nice things.
For
in
a
life.
while too, they had like shut it down. Like you could only walk around outside of it. They weren't letting people inside.
Oh wow, no.
That's crazy. You imagine just being in like.
I found a photo the one I was saying like.
You're most proud of.
Not that most, but it's one that like stands out. Like for some reason, when someone asks me like, oh, "What's your favorite photo taken?" Like this one, I think like I was like I've always been chasing that dragon.
Yeah.
Like that photo. Like I think this one specifically. Once I finished, I was like so good. Like if I edited this photo again now, I wouldn't even edit it this way anymore. Like my style has changed. But this just made me so like I was so happy when I took this. Or like edited it, like.
Oh yeah, this is a good photo.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
all the foliage.
Yeah, like, it's not even
this is your older style. I remember seeing these photos.
When I look at that now too, I'm like, oh, that's not really like a great photo.
This is like a puzzle.
Yeah, like, I would edit it differently now and everything too, but like, for some reason like that, I'm just like, oh, I love that.
The composition is great. The colors are great. It is a little it is a little punchy and like it's not grainy, but it has like grit to it.
Oh, that was
like there's
like
texture.
my, like old like Sony A6000 like APC camera. I had like a. Did you guys? Any of you guys ever had like one of those like APS Sonys?
Well, I had a Canon
Personally,
APC.
yeah.
APC Sony. Like they had the kit lenses. It was a 55 to 210, like 6.3 or something like that. So that was at like at 210.
Oh, it
my
was
ISO
far.
was probably I'm at like 6.3. Yeah, I was far cropped in. That's what, like I wish I want to go to that same spot now with like my like,
70 to 200.
pro gear now. Like,
Yeah.
edited thing, but
You
for
should.
That's like I don't even know where that was. We're just walking. We're like, oh, look at this pond. Like there's some nice colors. But because obviously I edited it a bit and like
Yeah.
But the first that's the one that like definitely sticks to me when I think of like my favorite photo that I've taken. Even though it's definitely not the best photo I've taken, but yeah, I don't know.
There's a memory to it for you.
Yeah, because that one, like, when I, like, finished it, like, that was definitely, like, my top photo at the time. And, like, I had, like, that dragon.
Yeah.
So, like, I caught the dragon. So, it's still, still just comes to mind for sure.
Yeah, that's a good photo. I could see how your style has changed. What's besides all the weddings that we have planned this year? Do you have any other trips coming up? Do you have any other like just adventures that I mean you always go kind of hiking here and there, but like any new
once the weather gets a little better, me and my friends will go like hiking, like probably like, camping and stuff again. As far as like vacation wise, like nothing super set yet.
How's the video going? I know you started some of these, and you showed me a video you did once, right? On one of the hikes that you did with your friends.
Oh yeah, that was just like.
But have you dabbled more into the video world, or just really?
Yeah, I've.
I know you're doing your dad's YouTube. How's that going?
That's just like for fun. Yeah. For those interested, my dad has a YouTube channel. It's in Turkish.
Plug them in.
We'll put it's not in English like the name, so we'll put the title right here. But it's like his retirement vlog. He just does like shows like landscaping stuff, garden stuff. He just wants to like go around like it's just he's just trying to have fun. This is his little hobby now
man.
too. He just got like this new snowblower.
Really?
Huge. And then he didn't guess it. He got like 4 months ago and it never snowed. So he was so
I'd be so tight.
he was so hyped for it to snow.
Damn.
Dude, like that morning, he was like, let's film an unboxing video. So we did like an unboxing thing and everything. And then it only snowed like 2 inches, 3 inches. He was so upset.
Damn, I'd be pissed.
Like he wants it to be like knee high, just to like show people his new
How
snowblower,
strong this thing is.
Yeah.
Is it a Troy? Do you know what kind of snowblower it is?
Ego.
Oh, Ego?
Yeah.
Nice.
No,
Nice.
you know.
Yeah,
you know your
I'm familiar.
snowblowers,
I'm familiar with the landscaping and cleaning up stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, he has a couple things from that brand. So he has like the same batteries.
Yeah,
but
yeah. That's why I love those actually because they're interchangeable.
Yeah.
With they have the
He
blower, the
he has
lawnmower,
their
the snow blower. Yeah.
And he wanted to get a new leaf blower too. So I was telling him, look, just get like the little, like the regular homeowner leaf blower. And this guy gets like the backpack.
He gets
Solar powered.
Yeah, he has like, it's like this big backpack with this big hose to like this, like, he looks like Iron Man, dude. He's just like,
You know
he's
what?
just
That's what
blo-
makes your dad happy.
He's just
man.
walking down the sidewalk blowing grass clippings, like that. That's like probably a professional grade one,
Yeah.
But yeah, he's retired. He retired at the end of 2020.
Nice.
So now he's just killing time. He finally has like time. To
Yeah.
do, like, what he wants. He spends a lot of it. My sister has 2 kids, so spends a lot of time with his grandkids.
Yeah.
During the winter, he's not really doing his the garden landscaping stuff, obviously. But yeah, during summer, that's his favorite thing, just going to the garden.
Nice.
How do you speaking of family, right? We've talked about this too, but I don't know what your like most recent thoughts are on it. So you become like the family photographer,
Yeah.
just because I'm sure that happens to you guys too,
Yeah.
right? It's like
Anytime someone buys a camera,
they're just
they
like
become the family.
yeah,
Become the
it's like
expert.
a birthday's coming up. It's like it's almost like you didn't show up with your camera. Like, what are you doing? You do this for a living. You're not gonna do it for us.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, like I have to do this every day of my life.
I'm enjoying
It
myself.
depends what it is. Like I mean, when I like first like started, I had like asked me like family photos and stuff for them, and I'm like, you understand that I don't know what I'm doing, right? Like I just happen to be your cousin who happened to buy a camera recently.
Yeah.
I'm not like thing. So now it's more like people like, you know, I don't have like a bunch of like, you know, it's not like I'm like rich and people are like, oh, you know, give me some money. Like it's not that kind of thing. Oh, come take some photos of me, man. I need some photos. But like I get like asked to do like favors and stuff for that. Like
Well, gatherings, you know,
oh yeah.
graduations, birthdays, and you know, anything like that.
Or
Where
that kind of stuff, like especially if it's family stuff. Like I'm gonna bring my camera anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on what it is. If I'm just going like,
are you ever not in the mood though? Is what I'm saying, to like do it, you know, like you because it's like an entrapment. It's like now, well, now you it's like imagine like
I will happily, if you're like especially like a close friend, family member, things like that, I will happily bring my camera, and at least, you know, if it's just like some little thing, I'll happily do it for free. Everything like. Oh, you have to realize, like, I'm doing it as like a favor to you too. Like, you gotta chill with the demands.
yeah,
you know,
I'm not taking per request.
Yeah. It's like I'm doing this as a favor. Like, if you make it like frustrating for me, it's different.
I'm gonna
like,
send you an invoice.
Yeah, like, but like, you know, obviously, like, you still want photos. Like, tell me what you want, but let me do my thing.
My thing, just
Which isn't really like an issue like a lot, but it, you know, it can be.
yeah.
But mostly, you know, like if it's like my nephew's like birthday party or something, I'm gonna bring my camera anyway and just like take photos of him hanging out, like playing with his toys the whole time. So stuff like that, it's not really an issue. But yeah, I've been asked to do like a lot of work like as a favor, which depending who it's for, like I'll do like all the work as a favor. You know,
You
if it's
do
for,
it with
like,
love.
yeah, if it's for like my immediate family, I'll do like all the work. I'm not gonna like charge them anything, obviously. Like close friends, family, like obviously depending what it is.
Right.
But sometimes people who are like I'm friendly with, I'd be like, yeah, I'll hook you up with that. And then they're like, oh, you're hooking me up with this like 10-hour professional photo shoot. I need this. I'm just like, no,
Added all these extras.
I was like, no, I told you I'd take like a couple photos for like your LinkedIn profile. Like that's it, you know, like things like that. But yeah, but I feel like that's like
It's like with anything though.
anytime you're
If
asking someone for a favor,
you're good at something, they're
you can
gonna
push it.
yeah.
But that's how, like, you know, with family, like, you know, if you have a pickup truck, you're the one the family's gonna call.
Yo, that's so
when they
true.
need to move a couch. If I have a camera, they're gonna call when they need photos.
That's how we got these couches or chairs into
There
the
you go.
studio. I was
Family
like,
pickup
yo,
truck.
Max.
Yo, Max.
He's like, what are you doing today? I really need your help. Thank you, Max.
Yeah, I like, you
Shout
know,
out Max.
it's not like my cousin's like, hey, can you like get a forklift and come over here and do this? And I'm just like, I don't know how to drive a forklift. I'm not forklift certified. But
I wonder if that happens if you're like a baker, right? Like, do they make you make cakes for all of the fucking birthdays?
my sister's a baker.
Does she get now like trapped into that?
Well, she's now she has 2 kids. The older one is 3, younger one is 1. So she's kind of been like
Busy.
off of that for a little bit. Yeah, understandably busy with that. So she's definitely like, she's definitely like brought like, you know, she'd make cupcakes and stuff all the time, bring it around to people. I think there's definitely times like, I don't know if there's specifically like that people have like people definitely have asked her for like a lot more than she should have done, you know. But I don't think anyone's ever really been like, oh, I just, you know, I assumed you were bringing cake to the function, you know. She's definitely like brought stuff without being asked before too, but which same way like and like, you know, I'm going to still bring my camera if we're like if I'm going to some like really cool like park with my family, we're going to have a picnic or something, I'll bring my camera. But yeah, it's never been like dude, you didn't bring the camera?
Yeah.
What's going on? You know?
What's wrong with you?
Same with her. They're never like, they're like, open the door, like, no cupcakes? Like, you know. But yeah, but it's when you're saying like you're like expected to be the photographer, I think it's more like you're expected to always be willing to do it, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
That I think it's
So
more
you don't
like that.
have to be, but it's almost like why aren't
they'd
you
be
doing
surprised if you say no,
Yeah.
you know. But I feel like, you know, that's just how like family and friends are for like a lot of things. Not it's a bad way, you know, if you need help, like who are you gonna ask besides your family or friends? But then you also can't expect them to drop what they're doing.
Right.
And,
Definitely.
you know, do
Yeah,
that too.
that's true too. That's very true. On a final note, bro, your socials, you take a lot of photos. You do a lot of wedding stuff now. I feel like you're not online as much. What's up with that, bro?
I gotta start. Like, I don't really use Instagram. I should.
Yeah.
I just like.
Because you do great work, honest to God.
Yeah.
You're the best wedding
I
photographer in my eyes.
Definitely should be posting, but like, I also just like. Every time I go on like a social network, like after a while, I'm just like, why am I on this app right now? Like, unless I'm going on to look at something specific.
For business, though. For business.
Yeah. For
because
business.
you know what I mean?
But I
Like,
feel like, well, I mean, whatever you're using for it, once you get like drawn into it too, it's just like either you find like, I mean, like business wise, I should be using it, like post photos.
yeah, stay on the creator side, not the consumer side.
And then like, but I don't know, I find myself just like, I'll like look at a bunch of people's like other stuff, like look at other people's work for like a long time, look up like some other thing for a long time. Not necessarily that like I'm wasting time, but I don't want to be focusing on like, oh, like this person's specific page, this person's page, like that.
So unfollow everybody.
Yeah, I probably should.
Just have 0 following.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And then
follow,
just
follow you
just
right
follow
now.
us. That's it.
No, but like I should, but like I don't know.
Drop everyone else.
I don't really use like Twitter anymore either. Like I don't know. I just kind of.
you got some funny. You're a funny guy, bro. Yeah, you got
You
a
know
little.
my tweets? I
Of
haven't
course.
tweeted in a long
Yeah,
time.
you're kind of fun. I mean, yeah. You got some shit to say, and it's very unique. It is also like very like artistically said, you know, which I really like.
But
You consider yourself an artist?
artistic, depending what it is, but like.
No, I mean with the stuff that we do.
Oh yeah, no, I would say like photography. That's an art.
Yeah. So by default, you're an artist.
Yeah, yeah.
Say that proudly, bro.
That's the
I'm an
imposter
artist,
syndrome
yeah.
you was talking about.
That's what. Yeah, that's imposter
That was-
syndrome.
But like, if
Do you
I
deal
was-
with imposter syndrome?
If someone is like, "Oh, what are you? What do you do?" I wouldn't be like, "I'm an artist." You know, like, that's not.
Well,
That's not like my like.
No, yeah, because it's very
Yeah.
pretentious. It's like, oh, I'm an artist.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I'm the fucking shit. It's like,
Dude, I'm-
dude, yeah.
I'm
For
a
me,
photographer, yeah.
I've always said this. I'm just like, dude. It's like I always say my imposter syndrome was heavy because I was always like, it's not that I don't like getting called like a photographer or videographer. And I was literally saying this in the last episode we just recorded. I'm always like, dude, I'm just Alan. But my always catchphrase was always like, dude, I'm just a guy with a camera. Like, dude, at the end of the day, I just learned how to make some videos. I learned how to edit. I got good at it. And I got good at it in the sense of like, I thought it was good.
You could say that with any profession, though.
But that's how my point, just I don't make this too long, is that's just generally how I feel. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like you could be a singer, you could be like, I'm just a person with a mic, and you are. Like you could be like a basketball player, I'm just a person with a basketball. But at the end of the day, when you boil it all down, that's really what it is. Like, not to glorify or not discredit anybody. Like, sure, I might be some people's favorites or maybe hated or whatever, but like the point is like, the way I feel is I'm just like, dude. It's the imposter syndrome of me thinking like everything that I'm doing is really not that great. Is really not anything
Yeah.
special. Because I feel like I am just a guy with a camera. Like,
Yeah, but like the thing with that is like, take like a Formula One driver for example, like something like we've never done, honestly. Like he could just.
well,
be
little
like,
do you know.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I just got back from Monaco. Like they could just be like, oh, I'm just a guy with this who drives his car, and like I'm just a guy who drives a car too, but like I didn't put in like probably the thousands and thousands of hours behind that wheel to become like that level of F1 driver. Same way that like just some guy with the camera didn't put all that time into essentially
Yeah.
he is still just some guy with a car. He is some guy with a car.
Yeah.
Like the vast majority of people on Earth who like aren't gonna recognize him. They're like, oh, this is just. They see a picture. It's a guy with a car.
yeah.
They see you.
Yeah.
So some random person sees a photo of you holding the camera and be like, oh, it's some
Dude
guy
with the camera, yeah.
But you're the guy with like all these hours behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the 10,000 hours have definitely been deposited by
Oh,
now.
yeah.
I think. You think you've deposited your 10,000
hell
hours?
no.
No.
We gotta make that skit I was telling you about.
Oh yeah. Still wait 3 weeks later, bro.
Sure, bro.
You have a 10,000 hour skit idea.
So we've been putting out more skits and videos, as you see. That's my creative outlet now. Is like I have fun with those, like because we don't make any money off of that. I mean, I want to because you can monetize online. Online money is crazy, but that's a whole different topic. But I think like because I do so much clientele work, because we're just doing so much volume, no pun intended, on the sideways triangle side of things. It's just tiring. because it's like I'm dealing with this person and that person. It's nice to be in different industries. So like one day we're with a restaurant, one day we're like in real estate, one day we're shooting a music video, another day we're doing in the studio product stuff, maybe then headshots the next. So it's nice the variety.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
nice to know that like we have a team, so like it doesn't all fall down on my shoulders to shoot every single thing. But after it's all said and done, like, okay, you know, I'd love to take, it's nice to have less projects and be able to dive deeper into them and be like, okay, I'm putting it my all.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm just like so super, like you said, chasing that. When I love when I finish a video. And like I started editing this video the other day, and I think maybe you saw it on the story. I got like 20 seconds into it, and it took me like 4 hours to just put 20 seconds together of this piece, which is again part of the work that nobody sees. But I'm over here like just going through all the clips, finding it, time remapping it, and color grading it, and then just syncing it to the music, and then just going through quick cuts and just telling a story, and then just like, okay, I'm like 5 hours later, 20 seconds in, and I'm like, okay. So I still need to do two more times to come up with that minute-long video. But I don't count the hours. I just count like, okay, like this is going to be such a good product. I'm proud of it.
Yeah,
I love it. They're going to love it.
There's definitely times where it's definitely worth all the extra hours for that one.
And that's what it comes down to on price too, where it's like, that's why I don't like, you know, it's like, you know, we charge what we charge. That's the price of working with us.
I mean, like people who haven't done this before don't realize that like the part of the work that they see, like the actual shooting, is such a small part of it.
That's a third of it, yeah. But so the point is with some of these videos, you know, it's not that they're like passion projects, but it's nice where it's like it's also not being client driven. So like all it requires is us to sit here and be like, yo, what's funny? And then or like seeing something online and then kind of drawing inspiration from that and then being like we could do that, or we could like put our own twist to it. So I love the concept of these like little short form content pieces where we can entertain, where we can educate, like the Sideways 60 videos, where we can literally just like make whatever. And it's like no one's here to tell me like, yo, this is right, this is wrong. It's like this is just what I came up with in my head. Here's how I envision it. And then I get to just go through the whole creative process of like scripting it, shooting it, editing it, like, you know, just, and then seeing if I like it, and if I don't like it, redoing a shot. And then it's just like, and the funny thing is like, you know, you'll put so much time into it and it's like you post it and it flops like 500 views or something. It's like whatever, but it's like not even for the views. It's more like we were talking about, just like like it was a release of like, man, this felt so good to do. I love it. It's out there, and then I still get to obviously do the day-to-day stuff, which is what pays the bills and what, you know, runs the studio and everything. Work, exactly. So that's how I've had my separation lately of like, this is work and then this is fun. And it's the same thing. I'm shooting, editing, scripting, writing, but it's just like there is in my head at least, there's a very fine line where it's like, this I'm doing on my own time. I don't need to deliver it to you in the next 2 days. Like I can just take my time.
The only one giving you notes is you.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just like there's nobody over my shoulder being like I need this, I want to post this. It's like my timeline. It's like, yo, just like it, because that gets so annoying. And I get it. I mean, people are paying for a service, so like, you know, they want their shit, but like, it's nice. It's refreshing. It's very there's a lot of freedom in it.
For like your sketches and stuff, is there anything like any like shows right now you guys like to watch, like comedy stuff?
I've been watching Sopranos heavily, like we were talking about earlier.
Are we doing like Sopranos inspired skits?
We
thought about it. So I have like literally I have definitely over 100 skits written right now. Yeah, like we have like I have a like a little database. If you want to call it. Yeah, there's an idea chart.
Really
like
just taking the time to execute.
Yeah, that's the hard part, is finding time to get that done, because priority is clientele work. Priority is getting like everyone their stuff, and making sure we do a good job, making sure we're getting 5 stars, everyone's happy with the product, and then in the free time is basically, you know, creating our own content and having fun with that. But I just like throughout the weeks, because inspiration hits whenever, right? So it's just like we'll be just chilling, we'll be editing, and we'll just think like, you know, it'd be funny, or like instances happens where like a client doesn't pay, or like something is late, or just, you know, whatever, and we're like, no, like we can capitalize on that. And so then we'll like write it out, put ideas to paper, and then it just gets saved. And then now I literally, like I said, just have hundreds of ideas that just like, if I had all the time in the world, I would love to just shoot.
Do you know who Shane Gillis is, the comedian?
I think I know the name. I don't think I remember exactly.
He's like definitely one I thought. He's like I mean, as far as like comedians go, he's one of like the newer
Okay.
guys. I don't know, he's like mid-30s maybe. He's really funny. He has like probably the funniest like comedy sketch show right now. It's called Gillian Keeves.
Okay.
Online. He actually he got hired to be a cast of Saturday Night Live.
Oh shit.
And he got fired like 8 hours later.
Wait, why?
Because like you know, he's very just like, he's not like mean or anything, but he definitely says like cancelable stuff. But he says on like
On the edge.
comedy podcasts
Yeah.
and stuff, it's
Right.
clearly a joke. He's not like making a stump speech.
It depends
But
on
then-
the platform, man.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
like someone like found like some clip of him in a podcast like saying something dumb from like a while ago or something, apparently. I don't know the full story. And then he got fired from SNL like 8 hours later. But he's so funny, and he has really good sketches.
It's probably better for that, because if not, they're gonna control what he says and all
But
that.
yeah, no,
It's
he's
There's
he keeps
always
saying
been-
that he's happy.
Yeah.
But he did this one sketch where it's basically Guy Fieri if he had PTSD like from the war. So he was in like this restaurant like doing this stuff, and then the guy would say something, and like he'd be like, oh yeah, like this, that, and like this seasoning's really gonna, like the chef that Guy Fieri's interviewing would be like, oh yeah, this seasoning's gonna make these rings really explode, and then it would cut to his face and he would just like, you'd hear the word explode and go into like this war flashback. It's really good, but you could do sketch comedy.
I wanna
stuff
get to
like
that, yeah.
Obviously, those they have like a set and like
Yeah,
real things and everything,
of
but like
course.
he has like very like different. It's like a lot of sketches. I feel like just like stories.
Right.
You know, like this happened, but his are cool. Him and Key and Peele.
Oh, Key
That's
and Peele,
what I was gonna
definitely.
say. I like Key and Peele's approach to their stuff, because it's like they're the executive producers, they're the actors in the skits, they're the host of the show.
Dude, their
and
skits, like that production, like
It's
their
on
stuff
point.
was so. They had like intense CG in some of their
Yeah.
skits.
Yeah.
So
like
I'm
CGI.
taking that approach where it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not afraid to be on the camera. I enjoy being behind the camera and in front of the camera. I like to think I'm creative. I also like to think I'm funny. I'm no comedian by any means though. So you know, if you think I'm funny, great. If you don't, that's okay. But they're not all comedy too though. Like we've had some creative ones where it's just like, this is like, I like making everything. It's honestly whatever I'm in the mood in. If I'm like, yo, I want to just make a really sick, epic, like just flex piece. Like I just boom. Like I'm just gonna just go balls to the walls and just unleash all my editing skills on a video.
Yeah.
Or it could just be like, yo, I want to just, make fun of something and then just make something funny. Or maybe today I'm in the mood to just like educate. And it's like, you know what? Like here's something that's
Yeah.
genuinely helped me in my business or like my career, and maybe you could learn from it too. And it's just like really whatever, just kind of like it falls
Because you
on.
can do whatever you want. Yeah.
Exactly, So, but it's time consuming. It takes time. And
Yeah.
it's finding the time, prioritizing. But we're getting there. That's 2023 for us.
There you go.
But all right, man. I think that's a wrap. I think we're at the end of this.
Yeah. dude.
Thank you for coming on.
This was fun. First podcast experience.
Yeah, man. I
had
hope
a
you
good
enjoyed
time.
it.
I did. Yeah, definitely. I'd do this again.
Just one final note for Aytek. Every time we see each other, usually at work, at a wedding, again,
Or here.
or here, it's business, and definitely cool guy you have here, Alan. Keep up the work, and just keep doing what you're doing, man.
Keep him around. I like him.
No, you remind me of one of my friends. My friend's Nick. Very similar. I feel like you have that humble spirit, and you're just awesome at what you do.
Oh,
So
thank you, man.
keep that up, bro. For real.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I like to meet your friend.
Yeah, you'll meet him one day.
I'm like, not to brag,
That's-
but I've been told I'm humble.
Where can they find you, bro? Plug yourself into that camera since you're not active on socials.
I mean,
You have a website. So what's the website?
yeah, I mean, my website is itekdemirweddings.com. Instagram is the same.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be more active on Instagram. I have like a backlog of photos like
A
that
lot.
I want to post too, but yeah, I definitely will. But yeah, you can check out my website, my Instagram.
Really good photos on there. You can obviously hire Aytek individually for photography, which has nothing to do with us, or Aytek is basically our wedding photographer. So when we partner up and you hire Sideways Triangle to do photo videos, you're getting Aytek unless he's already booked, and in which case then it's just,
And
it's myself that I do the photos.
if you're hiring me for photos and you want video, Alan's the first choice. So check out his stuff too.
Yeah. So yeah, you can find the work on any of the pages. I think that's it. That's a wrap. Yeah.
Sounds
All right.
good. This was fun.
I'm kind of hungry. You want to get food?
Yes.
All right, guys.
Well,
Peace.
Take care.